Well, hello there. It's another edition of the Quarantine Choir. And as I filmed this morning, I'm enjoying a fantastic morning and enjoying a little serenade from a little choir in my backyard of Carolina chickadees, a magnificent male cardinal over there, and a mourning dove next door. So you may hear them. But as they're singing, let's talk about music. And the music I want to speak about today is a non-Western music from the Republic of South Africa called Mbube. Now, the Republic of South Africa is about the size, well, it's about twice the size, really, of Texas. And it's populated by many different ethnic groups, and 11 or so languages are spoken, some of which are unofficial, but 11 or so languages spoken. Now, during the time of European colonization, the Dutch arrived first. The Dutch colonizers at the time were Calvinist Christians. They had strict attitudes in terms of religion and strict views of the indigenous people. Now, they are known, or the Dutch descent folks are known as Afrikaners, and the language that they speak is Afrikaans, and this is derived from Dutch. It's also the time of the great warrior king Shaka Zulu, who lived from 1787 to 1828. To put that into context a little bit, Ludwig van Beethoven died in 1827, and Schubert died, I believe it was 1828. So that might provide just a little bit of context in terms of music. Well, Shaka Zulu established one of sub-Saharan Africa's most powerful kingdoms, and he reigned over regions in modern-day South Africa and neighboring countries. Shaka's warriors are believed to have defeated the encroaching Afrikaners on several occasions, and this has helped him attain sort of a mythological status among many Zulu today. Well, in modern history, the policy of racial segregation known as apartheid is most notable. And for decades, this sort of institutionalized segregation system kept non-European descended populations in economic and social poverty. While these populations were not slaves, they were often forced to work and live in appalling conditions. Now, the African National Congress, which was founded in 1912, was dedicated to a nonviolent end to racial segregation. Probably the most important leader of the African National Congress was Nelson Mandela, who lived from 1918 to 2013. In 1962, he was imprisoned, and that imprisonment lasted until 1990. But he eventually became president of the Republic of South Africa in their first democratic election. Now, Mbube music is essentially vocal polyphony, and it predates the arrival of European colonists in South Africa. It's based on a call and response, which was and is very prevalent among different types of music around the world. But in this sort of system, in particularly in Mbube, the lower vocal ranges are highlighted or emphasized. The call is performed by the controller, and the response, termed the chord, is sung by the group. Now, of particular note is the sort of swooping vocal effects and the rhythmic changes that happen within sections in a particular piece. Now, Mbube choirs are strongly associated with South Africa's townships, and these are residential areas. And during the apartheid, a township was segregated for non-whites who worked in various industries owned by the European-descended populations, Afrikaans and others, such as mining, for example. Now, these residential areas were seriously impoverished. They still bear marks of the military presence, such as barbed wire, etc. Well, among the Zulu, the singing competitions became particularly popular starting in the 1930s. And these high-energy performances involved high-stepping movements derived from Zulu traditional dances and often incorporated lyrics or lyrical content, words, in other words, that were directed to the plight of the workers. Now, the most famous of these Mbube groups competing in these competitions is from Ladysmith in South Africa, and they're known as the Black Mambazo. And Mambazo is translated as the axe or an axe. And so the idea there is that here's this singing group and they're going to chop down all the competition. They were formed in the 1960s. Well, the Ladysmith Black Mambazo developed a softer style of Mbube called Isicathamiya. And that's translated as walk like a cat or stealthily. So it's a softer, gentler sort of Mbube. The Ladysmith Black Mambazo gained international fame when they were featured on Paul Simon's album Graceland in about 1986. And they won a Grammy for that. And it was their first of 5 Grammys that the group's won. It's really remarkable. They continue to be one of the most successful international world music groups. So, it's fantastic music. I love Mbube, and I hope you will enjoy. And until I see you next time, take care. Bye-bye.